Ladies and gentlemen, the next match will be one fall, 30 minutes time limit, one fall, 30 minutes. Introducing first from Detroit, Michigan and Johnson City, Tennessee, at a combined weight of 530 pounds, the Motor City Madman and George Hyatt. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing next, the Legends of Kingsport, managed by Big Al Bass. At a combined weight of 536 pounds, ladies and gentlemen, one half of the Wright brothers, Don Wright. The other half of the Legends of Kingsport, Shaq Al Bass. You shut your mouth, I'll give out the introductions. Don't you start, Peters, it's been a long time. And the other half of the Legends of Kingsport, Big Tony Peters. And please don't call me Al Bass, Porky. Your referee, Bo James. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Ken, we've got the Legends of Kingsport out here now. Big Tony Peters, Don Wright.
I'll tell you what, I've wrestled both these men in the past, and there never was a tougher tag team in wrestling than Ron and Don Wright. And Big Tony Peters, there again, he's hard to handle.
Oh man, like I was telling you a while ago, Tony Peters taught me all I know about it, and me and him's had some rough roads to hoe.
Yeah, the last match I remember being in with Tony Peters was over in Gate City several years ago. Ronnie Sexton and I wrestled Tony and Ron Wright. That was a literal bloodbath.
Well, I tell you what, I was there. It was a tough match, that's for sure. Tony Peters, I tell you, him and Donnie, they work good together. And, of course, they've been around wrestling for years. Tag team's no stranger to them. So George Hyatt and the Motor City Madman, they really got their work cut out for them.
Yeah, they sure do. Now, I'll tell you, George Hyatt's no pushover. I'm not that familiar with this Motor City Madman, but I know George has been around a long time. He knows the ropes pretty well. I'd say he'll give Tony and Don a run for their money.
He sure will. I tell you, I don't know much about the Motor City Madman myself, but he better laced his boots up extra tight for this match.
That's exactly right.
Well, Motor City Madman taking it to Tony Peters right now, shoots him off the ropes, goes for a backdrop.
Oh, what a backdrop.
He went high on that, Ken.
Yeah, he sure did. I'll tell you what, it's a good thing those lights are way up on the ceiling. There'd be one in the ring right now.
Yeah, boy. They made the tag. George Hyatt exchanges with the Motor City Madman. George goes to work right on that arm.
You know, George is the one I think they should call the Madman. Watch him biting Tony's hand now.
Well, I tell you what, I've known him many years, and he is a madman, that's for sure.
He certainly is. Not many people know it, but years ago, George was one of the original assassins.
Well, I tell you what, they was always a tough team, too.
Yes, sir, they were.
And George Hyatt's still tough today now. If they want to wrestle, he can wrestle. If they want to brawl, he'll brawl.
He certainly will. He asks no quarter and he gives none.
I tell you what, he's staying right on that arm, making quick tags. This is what they need to do, kid.
Absolutely.
This could make the winners tonight.
Al Bass is trying to divert the referee's attention now so that Tony can work out of the hole, but it didn't quite work that time.
Well, I tell you what, it has been a match. If George and them keep switching off like they are right now, they could cause the Legends of Kingsport some trouble.
They absolutely could, and that would be the ultimate embarrassment for Don and Tony to lose a match right here in their hometown where, you know, we all grew up watching these wrestlers.
And I tell you, they come down here tonight. I talked to Tony Peters as well as you did before the match. He was fired up for tonight. He was ready for these boys.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. He told me, he said he'd been out of the ring for a while, and he said he really wanted to take this one home for the hometown fans here.
And I tell you what, Tony Peters might be down right now, but I tell you this, he sure is not out.
Oh, no. No, you can never count Tony Peters out. You know, he's one of the few people that ever broke out of my figure 4 leg lock.
I tell you what, he is a tough man, and when you're hurting Tony Peters, that's when he does his best thinking.
Absolutely. He's just like a wounded tiger.
He sure is.
Don Wright in now. Let's see what Don can do.
Don moves right in with a side headlock and takedown, and he's really working over the Motor City Madman. Bo James asking the referee, Bo James asking the crowd, did they tag? Of course, Don and Tony and Ron, they was always masters of getting in that ring without a tag.
Exactly right, and Don learned from Ron, one of the best in the business. I can remember when Donnie was in high school and Ron was teaching him professional wrestling. And he learned his lessons well. I think he and Ron held several tag titles over years.
And I tell you what, the Wright brothers was one of the most hated teams around this area here, but they was one of the best.
Absolutely, and I remember back in the old days, Melvin Johnson used to referee for us quite a bit. And, they'd run Melvin crazy. He just absolutely could not keep up with that tag team.
They was a tag team hard to keep up with.
And, you know, Don and Tony are working much the same manner. Although they're kind of at the disadvantage right now, I feel sure that it's not over by any means.
George Hyatt really landed in. He's working on the back now. No, he's changed to a full Manson. If they keep Don over in that corner and keep making tags, we may see an embarrassment here tonight, really.
It's quite possible. Definitely possible.
I'll tell you what, I think this is the first time that Hyatt and Motor City Madman has teamed up as a team. But by golly, by looking at them in the ring, you sure can't tell it.
No, you sure can't. And it's certainly not the first time Don Wright and Tony Peters have come together, though.
Oh, no.
Now George Hyatt's pulling some of the Peters and Wright tactics there. The Motor City Madman has a referee tied up, and George is working on Don.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander, I guess.
It absolutely is. Crowd really getting into this match. I'll tell you, this is about the best match we've seen all evening.
Don making his comeback now. Tagged by Big Tony Peters. Tony comes in on the exchange. Of course, they have a 5 count.
Yeah, they do. And it's Tennessee dog working time now, looks like.
I tell you what, they're going to lay it on to him. And Tony will sure use that 5 count, but you can't blame him. It's no disgrace. Big Al Bass now sticking his nose in it.
Yeah, and while he did, Tony Peters wrapped a cord around the Motor City Madman's neck.
And that's one of the favorite moves of Big Tony Peters.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it absolutely is. I've never known Tony to come in the ring without some type of foreign object or weapon.
I tell you what, I've had him use ropes on me, chains, and everything else.
Yes, sir. He absolutely has. I've had many a stitch in my head from a Tony Peters chain.
And if he didn't bring something, he'd find him a tin can laying outside and use it on you. So
Yeah, and I saw him one night he got a cigar from a man in the audience and rubbed it in another wrestler's eye.
I tell you what, Tony Peters, he's a mean man, son.
Yeah, he sure is. Now you see a switch without a tag while the referee is diverted.
Big Al Bass needs to get back in his corner, but he's doing his job, Ken.
Yeah, he sure is.
The referee, Bo James, asking the crowd, did they make a tag? But unless the referee sees it, he can't really call it.
No, Bo James is one of the finest referees in the land. And like you say, he's only got one set of eyes.
And I tell you what, you can only see so much. A lot of people don't understand. It is hard to referee a wrestling match.
Oh, it's next to impossible.
Big elbow there with Big Tony Peters right in the solar plexus. 2 count. Tony's starting to put the pressure on the Motor City Madman.
Yeah, you can see the sweat popping off the Madman's head now. He's wearing down quickly.
Boy, Tony has got that, he has got that headlock, chin lock, if you will, really barred in.
Yeah, the Madman reaching up for a handful of hair.
He's not going to find any on Tony Peters.
He sure isn't. He finally realized there wasn't any there.
Tony Peters going back to the tights once again. Don Wright coming in.
Yeah, Tony's got that cord working on the Madman.
Oh, yeah, and that's going to take all the air out of him. Kenny's not going to be able to do much. Tag made. There comes Don Wright in. Of course, Don wearing the Wright brothers colors of orange and white. They always wore the Tennessee colors.
Oh, yeah, they sure did. Certainly did. And watch Don challenge George Hyatt now.
Oh, yeah. He tagged him, told him, come on in, get him some. I tell you what, they'll put the Tennessee dog whooping on these boys.
Yes, sir.
Of course, he knows he's got a 5 count to break, and he'll take it to the furthest extent.
Yeah, he'll break it about 4.5 usually.
That's right.
Madman coming back now. Here comes.
He makes a tag.
He got the tag. Hyatt going in.
Now, Don Wright got George Hyatt in.
I think Don's consulting with Tony and Al Bass there a little bit.
And I tell you what, you put those 3 heads together, there's going to be trouble. That is for sure.
Well, I think George has got him a little bit puzzled. George has that look in his eyes tonight like, he really could care less.
Oh, yeah. And when he starts looking that way, but see, there was that right smooth of jumping the man. They go head first, honey.
Yeah, but George is...
Oh, atomic drop.
Big atomic drop.
Big power slam there.
George Hyatt is working like a man possessed, I'll tell you.
Yeah, he is. The look in his eyes, kid, it's just, he wants to win this match. He's ready for Tony Peters. He saw the tag.
Yeah.
There comes Big Tony in the ring right now.
Very apprehensively, I might add.
Tony's on the bicycle. What he's doing, he's trying to slow the man down, trying to catch him off the train of thought.
Yeah, he's trying to make him wrestle at his pace, and that's
right.
a smart move on Tony's part. Now George wants to shake hands.
I don't think Tony Peters will do it.
No.
He's too wise for that. Slips in behind, chin lock now. There switches to the arm. Boy, that was a good switch. Oh, he crosses over. That could snap that arm just like that.
Yeah, and he's going to the fingers there, too. Got George in a lot of pain right now.
That just adds an extra lot of aggravation and pain going to the fingers. And the way he's got him bent back like that, oh, man.
Yeah.
I believe Tony was doing a little biting there, too.
Yeah, maybe he didn't have supper tonight.
Referee Bo James asking George Hyatt, do you want to give it up? That's a lot of pressure on that arm, Ken.
Yeah, it sure is, but George is a little too tough for that to be a submission hold on him. You're going to have to do a little more than that.
Tony about going back to amateur wrestling, hooking the man take down, and
he has the shoulders pinned. I don't understand why Bo didn't count out. He was in the ropes, okay.
Tony's staying right with that chin lock, and I'll tell you what, him bearing the weight down on George Hyatt like that, that's going to wear him out. That won't cause him to submit, but it sure is going to make him tired and wear down a lot faster.
Yeah, it is. Definitely is. Body thrust to the throat.
Oh, man. Toradanoka used to do that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Tony Peters. He's been all over the world, over Japan, and he has learned a lot of things.
Oh, he's got Big Al's stick now. Let's see what happens here.
Oh, he took his head off there.
I believe that'll do it. Let's
That
see.
should do it.
That's it.
The winners of the fall in the match, the legends of Kingsport, Tony Peters and Don Wright.
Yes, sir.
And we'll be back with more right after this.